You think you've seen the first Harry Potter film. Most people have. They remember the magic, the music, the feeling of stepping into a completely different world for the first time. A boy under the stairs, a letter that refuses to be ignored, and a hidden school where nothing follows the rules of the ordinary world. But what most people don't realize is that the first film is not just an introduction. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is filled with details, small clues, and subtle decisions that quietly shape everything that comes after. And once you start noticing them, the story feels very different. One of the first things people overlook is how carefully Harry's life is built before the magic even begins. His time with the Dursleys is not just there for contrast. It explains everything about his character. Harry grows up without attention, without love, without any sense of belonging. So when he finally enters the wizarding world, he is not driven by ambition or power. He is driven by something much simpler, the need to belong somewhere. This is why, unlike many others, he never chases power. He accepts what comes to him, but he never seeks it out. And that single detail quietly explains why he becomes the one who can reach the stone. Another detail hidden in plain sight is the way the wizarding world is introduced. It feels chaotic at first. Letters flying through the house, strange people appearing, unexplained events happening all at once. But if you look closer, everything is controlled. Every step Harry takes is guided. He meets the right people at the right time. He receives the right information exactly when he needs it. This is not randomness. It suggests that someone is watching closely, making sure everything unfolds in a specific way. And that brings us to one of the most discussed, yet still misunderstood characters in the film, Albus Dumbledore. At first, he appears as a kind and wise headmaster, calm, patient, almost distant. But the film quietly suggests something more complex. He knows far more than he ever says. He understands the danger surrounding the stone. He is aware that Lord Voldemort is not truly gone, and yet he allows events to unfold. He does not stop Harry from getting involved. He does not fully explain the risks. Instead, he observes. He waits. He intervenes only at the very end. This raises an uncomfortable question. Is he protecting Harry, or is he preparing him? One of the most famous scenes in the film, the Quidditch match, also hides a detail that many viewers miss the first time. When Harry's broom begins to shake violently, the camera focuses on Severus Snape, making him look suspicious. The audience is led to believe that he is the one causing the problem. But this is a misdirection. If you pay close attention, Snape is actually trying to counter the curse. The real threat is someone else entirely. This moment sets up one of the most important patterns in the entire series. What you see is not always the truth. This idea continues with the portrayal of Voldemort. In the first film, he is not the terrifying figure we later come to know. He is hidden, weak, dependent, living through another person behind Professor Quirrell. At first, this may seem like just a creative choice, but it carries a deeper meaning. Voldemort survives by taking control of others. He exists by removing their identity and replacing it with his own. This is not just about survival, it is about the complete loss of humanity in the pursuit of power. Another scene that carries more meaning than it appears is the mirror of Erised. At first glance, it feels emotional. A quiet moment where Harry sees his parents for the first time. But the mirror is not simply showing memories. It reveals the deepest desire of a person's heart. For Harry, this is not just about missing his family. It is about belonging. It is about seeing a life he was never given. And what makes this scene powerful is the danger behind it. The mirror can trap people, keeping them lost in their desires instead of living in reality. It is not a gift. It is a warning. When we move closer to the stone itself, another overlooked detail begins to stand out. The protections around it feel impressive at first. A giant three-headed dog, magical plants, flying keys, a life-sized chess game. But when you really think about it, these challenges are not designed to stop the most powerful dark wizard. They are designed to test someone. Each one measures something specific: courage, intelligence, sacrifice. It almost feels like a path rather than a barrier. And the person following that path is Harry. This leads to one of the most important and often ignored ideas in the film. Harry is not the strongest character, he is not the most experienced, and yet he is the one who reaches the stone. The reason is hidden in a single rule explained near the end. Only someone who wants to find the stone but not use it can actually obtain it. This detail changes everything, because it shows that the story is not about power, it is about intention. It is about who you are when you are given the chance to take control. The destruction of the stone is another moment that many viewers accept without thinking too deeply about it. An object that grants immortality and unlimited wealth is simply removed from existence. But this decision carries a strong message. Some forms of power are too dangerous to exist at all. And sometimes the strongest choice is not to use power, but to let it go completely. Finally, we come to the detail that defines the entire story. Harry's survival, his ability to stand against Voldemort. It is not explained by skill or talent. It comes from something much simpler, something left behind by his mother, Lily Potter. Love, not as an abstract idea, but as a real force that creates protection stronger than any spell. This is the one thing Voldemort cannot understand, and that is why he fails. When you look at all of these details together, the first film becomes something very different. It is no longer just an introduction to a magical world. It is a carefully constructed story about perception, control, and human nature. It shows how easily we can misunderstand what we see, how power can change people, and how the simplest emotions can become the strongest forces. And perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: nothing in this story is accidental. Every detail, every moment, every decision is building towards something much bigger. And this was only the beginning.